I think I cracked it. I think I figured out the secret to the coziest, most comforting form of gaming. And it all comes down to this one device. There's a ton of devices like it out there, but it is one of the few which feature this dual screen layout, which makes a really big difference in the portability and even just the user experience, which we're gonna get into. So what is it? The AYN Thor is an Android handheld, sometimes dubbed a retro handheld. It's essentially an Android device, but it specializes in playing games. It's got Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is a flagship smartphone chip. It's a few years old, but it's very capable. Mine's got 1 terabyte SSD and 12 gigabytes of RAM. That's the max model. The Lite is a lot less powerful, and the Base and Pro are a little less powerful. I went for the Max because I just like maxing things out. This guy's got 2 touchscreens, up top 6-inch AMOLED, on the bottom 3.92 inches AMOLED. The screens are awesome, 120 hertz on top, 60 hertz on the bottom. They look so amazing. This is like my first really nice OLED screen on a gaming device, and like I kind of get it now. It does make a difference. My Legion Go S looks good, but it ain't no OLED, and I don't know if I can go back. It ships with Android 13 and pretty much nothing else. We'll get to that. And it's got a 6,000 milliamp battery. Those are the details, but why is the AYN Thor and other handhelds like it, these Android devices, like why are they so compelling? Why are they so hot right now? I think there's a lot of reasons for it. Number one, the portability is actually absurd. Yes, I have technically a portable gaming device with my Legion Go S, and I bring it with me on trips. I can throw it in my bag. Yes, it definitely travels. Okay, no problem, right? Then I got this guy, okay? This guy's not going in my backpack, it's going in my pocket. I'm sure some of you have had the experience of pulling out your Steam Deck on the plane, like sitting here in the middle seat, making sure no one's looking at what you're playing because it's extremely violent. And the flight attendant comes by, she looks at you, she looks at the device, doesn't ask questions, but you both know something weird is going on here. And I don't feel comfortable playing my Legion Go S on the plane, but this guy, I flip that out, you know, I'm over here. I can kind of, I've got privacy. It's a little thing. I can put it away if I need to. And like, I don't have to bring this bulky charger, have it plugged into the seat somewhere. I've spent too much time on this scenario, but I'm trying to illustrate the point that the portability really matters. It really gives you a little more comfort, a little more privacy if you feel like you need it. And it makes a big difference. Like my screen time is down 20% since buying this device. And I think a lot of that is due to its portability. Like sometimes maybe I'm on the couch or maybe I'm out and about and all I have is my phone. But now maybe I have my Thor. Which one do you think I'm going to pick? Another awesome thing about this device, it is insanely customizable, and it's made for people who like to tinker with things. So again, this ships with stock Android 13. I'm not impressed with it. But that's just the start. One of the easiest ways to adopt a little bit of personality, a little bit of customization into your AYN Thor to make it feel a little more premium is to download a front end. A front end is basically an app that sort of mimics an operating system. It runs like a layer on top. It organizes all your apps in one place, shows you your notifications when you need them, shows your battery percentage, Wi-Fi status, things like that, to a point where if you have like a pretty decent launcher, you shouldn't really have to go down and play around in the stock Android OS too much. There's a bunch of options when it comes to front ends. I think the 2 most popular are Cocoon and Isu. I went for Isu. Isu is the answer to my prayers. The developers of Isu essentially set out to make me feel as nostalgic as possible while also delivering an optimal user experience. It really reminds me of like the days of Wii and 3DS gaming, and they capture that aesthetic so well with the way the icons are laid out and the game art is displayed and the sound design. Oh my gosh, the sound design is so well done that this front end is such a joy to operate. Cocoon is another option. People love Cocoon. I think it's probably more popular than Isu at this point. Once you have a front end installed, a lot of them allow like intense, deep customizations. The color scheme of the menus, the layout of the icons, you can add widgets to the home screen, apps to the home screen, emulators to the home screen. This is really when the magic starts to happen, when you start to make the device really feel like your own device. I think the front end is really the first step of that process. Android is kind of a wide open OS, and so like you can download all all sorts of Android apps that a lot of them don't even have to be from the Play Store. Like you can just download APK files from like GitHub or wherever you want, as long as you're careful about it. And a lot of these do some pretty amazing stuff. A popular one right now is called Cluster Tune. So Cluster Tune basically lets you underclock the CPU on your Android device. So you're going to get better battery life. You're going to get a cooler device, less fan noise. Point of what I'm trying to say here is the Android device comes with pretty much nothing going on in it, but it is a blank slate, a white canvas for you to sort of curate whatever experience that you want. And that is such a powerful thing because then you begin to feel a sort of affinity towards the device because you've put work into it. You've made it into something that you're proud of. And finally, I took too long to bring this up, but the actual gaming. What's the gaming like? That gaming is fucking sick. Gaming on this device has been really, really great. So the AYN Thor and Android handhelds in general sort of specialize, I would say, in retro gaming. Like, yes, you can emulate PC games actually these days with some apps like GameHub and Game Native, but the bread and butter is really emulating older games up to like the Switch 1 era. And I think that's a good thing because retro gaming is actually a really special form of gaming. And it's something that I wish I had discovered years ago because it's like cured me. So retro games are special for a number of reasons. First and foremost, though, is they're different than modern games because they had limitations that modern games did not. Those limitations could be in the form of hardware, or even more importantly, of just gamer expectation. But the point is, a developer making a game 10 years ago had like a different concept and probably like different goals in mind when they were developing their games. A lot of retro games seem to be very well contained, right? Like these days, a modern game, it tries to do everything. It's like live service. It's got like a social component. It's got a massive open world. It's got skill trees. It has like too much stuff. Retro games aren't really like that, and they couldn't afford to be like that. For example, I'm playing A Link Between Worlds right now for the 3DS, and it is a Zelda game, and yes, it has like, a large-ish map, but like, it feels focused. It feels like I picked it up, swung my sword around for an hour, and I put it away, and I felt good about it. And I think that's kind of a common experience for retro games because they pick a few things to do really well. I know what it is that I'm getting into and I pick it up and I enjoy it. And I feel the passion that the developers put into it. I just don't really feel that way so much about at least AAA games right now, which is super sad. But yes, obviously retro games are going to look and feel and play differently than modern titles. The other angle here is nostalgia, though, right? Like, I'm at this point with my Thor, I'm able to revisit games from my childhood, and I'm overwhelmed with painful sense of nostalgia that is so powerful, it makes me want to cry. And I've been sort of taking a trip down memory lane a little bit, which I've enjoyed. I busted out Mario Sunshine the other day, which is a flawed game, but it's one of my first Mario platformers, and like, I feel some type of way about it. And also, Thor has given me the ability to go back and play some games that I simply missed as a child. So like, I want to go and play the original Paper Mario. I want to go and play Shadow of the Colossus. Like, these are games that are really good and everyone likes them, but I just never got around to playing. And now I have the excuse to do that. I also want to talk a little bit about like the community and the space that the AYN Thor and just Android devices in general occupy. We all know the gaming industry is under a lot of pressure, I would say at this point. I think publishers and game studios are very beholden to their shareholders. Console manufacturers are getting really greedy. They're doing crazy stuff. I think these Android devices, to some people, are kind of the answer, and they're kind of like the FU to these gaming companies. I think that's part of the reason that they've become so popular in the last few years. It's interesting. I think there's a lot of like passion and enthusiasm in the retro handheld space, in the Android handheld space. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's something that I don't really feel as much in the kind of more consumer-friendly handheld PC space. Like there's something slightly off about it. And yeah, I think it's a good time to look into retro gaming. It's a good place to be as like a 30-something gamer. Anyway, so I pretty much had no script on that one. So let me know if you did not like that format and maybe I'll try something else. But again, thank you guys for watching. The last video is doing really well. I think I've got like 6,000 views on it. I've gotten like 70, 80 subs from that. Like we're almost at 200 subs, guys. Come on, that's crazy. That's awesome. So I'm gonna keep making these videos as long as you guys keep enjoying them. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.